Soda pop, baby! Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic episode of Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver. This is episode number 37, and today we are going to be accomplishing three things. We are going to be going after Suicune. I believe that's how Suicune is how you say the name there. One of the legendary Pokemon here. Snorlax, because I figured out how we could actually catch him, and defeating Brock. So there is going to be a lot done in this episode. Here we can see Suicune sort of back against the wall, hanging up here above Misty's gym. So in Cerulean City, after you actually go after the... Shit, what is it called? After you go and you talk to this guy, after you find Suicune on the water, you can go challenge Suicune to a battle here. And then, yeah, you'll be prompted with a battle. So as always, you can run from this battle, I believe. I know you can always defeat the Pokemon in said battle, or you can opt to catch the Pokemon like I'm doing now. It's just it typically takes a lot of time to do so. I tried a quick ball there. You never know, right? The odds are not in my favor, but a quick ball does up the chances if you throw it on like the first one or two couple encounters with the Pokemon. So I figured, why not? And we get some rotation there. I mean, I figure it would be cool if it worked, right? Can't knock me for trying. That's all I can say there. Is like, if it worked, it would be pretty funny. And it would be the quickest catching of this Pokemon that you could possibly imagine. So, might as well go for it. But it really does not look like it's going to be a successful attempt. I actually think the majority of this episode is going to be trying to capture this damn thing. It's just going to take a severely long time. I get that feeling. Well, and obviously I know... Right, I'm looking at the actual recording right now of how long it took. And, yeah, it would make sense. But I think we're better off to go into our next strategy. I'm going to start with Signal Beam here. I think Signal Beam's actually going to do a fair amount of damage. I don't want to hit it with an electric type move because we are a little bit overpowered compared to it. I'm hoping I can get away with Signal Beam, take it down to like close to red health. Yeah, I could probably hit it one more time as long as I don't get a critical hit here. And then after that, I just have to hope it hits me with something physical so it gets some sort of static. So we could cause paralysis. But after that, I really don't have much for it. Like, it's just going to be a waiting game of can we catch it. We might as well use all the quick balls. I bought a good handful of them solely for this battle. They probably at this point have the same stats as a Pokeball, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I have Ultra Balls too, but let's see. I'll throw an Ultra Ball. Let's see if that appears to be any more effective. Not a single bit. I mean, RNG-wise, it probably is a little bit more effective, but is it really worth trying? I don't think so. I don't really see an advantage in using them over the Quick Ball if we have Quick Balls to just throw at the Pokemon and cross our fingers and hope that maybe we get some movement there. Although I do think at this point they're probably, like I said, the equivalent of a Pokeball. They're not going to be ultra effective in catching this Pokemon. I just wish it would hit me with something physical so it would cause paralysis. That's my big thing. If we could just get some paralysis here, I feel like our chances of catching the Pokemon would go up significantly. Especially this late in the game, like at level 40 for a legendary Pokemon, it's tough to catch them, right? They're made to be challenging. A wild Pokemon in the mid-30s can be extremely challenging without a status condition and low health. So a legendary Pokemon with just low health is obviously going to be a little bit more challenging to catch than your average Doduo out there, you know? And it stinks, like, I mean, it makes sense, but it stinks. There's only one. So, like, if we dig up here, we're done. Like, this is... I've killed so many legendary Pokemon. I almost, in every other Let's Play, you can go back and look at it, except for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I think in every other Let's Play, I almost always kill the legendary Pokemon, because I'm just not able to catch it. Like, it takes me forever, and by the time that I actually get there, I end up getting a critical hit, or I'm down to, like, my last Pokemon. It's like, I don't want to lose. So I just always end up catching it, or killing it, is typically what happens. So, hopefully we don't get that in this case. There, the ball shook one time, which is always a good sign, but, like, without that paralysis, it is really difficult. And unfortunately, I don't... Oh, shit. It looked like it was caught there. That sucks. Because it looked like that was about to be the end of it. And usually, like, once it rotates like that a couple times, it's a good indication that, like, it's going to continue down that road, and you're going to have a good chance to catch it, but it's really not appearing that way for me here today, which is really unfortunate. Like, I feel like I'm going to spend a significant chunk of time just doing this, and the puppy is shaking her floof. She's just out and about doing puppy things. Doing puppy things. We got one shake there. It may not seem like a lot, but I'm sure to those who have undergone this task before, every little bit like that in this sort of situation helps mentally. Like, it's like, okay, at least maybe I'm making some progress, is the thought that goes through the head. It's like, well, maybe it's something, you know? Is it likely anything great? I don't think so. I don't think those shakes are like any indicator on like the actual RNG behind the background telling people if it's going to be caught. Like if it's getting a higher percentage chance or anything like that. I also have no idea, but I threw two of them and then I throw an Ultra Ball to think like, well, maybe that'll increase our odds, but then it pops out right away, so obviously I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I don't know, at times it feels like it's going to do a good job, at other times not so much, but I do know it is going to take quite a bit here to catch Suicune. Now, obviously, we still have time to go and catch Snorlax and take on Brock, so it's not going to take the entirety of this video. If you stuck it out this far, hey, drop a like, but I really do appreciate you sticking this far, because it could be pretty aggravating to watch. I mean, trust me, I'm watching it doing the voiceover. Not even a shake that time. Man. It does not, at times, it really does not look optimistic. And I do think, I did share on the Halo Let's Play, I actually just finished both of these Let's Plays, so both the Pokemon Soul Silver and the Halo Combat Evolved Let's Plays, so that looked like I almost had it. So I can compare it, like, the final legendary Pokemon we are going to catch, I don't even think it definitely didn't take this amount of time. I mean, it's its own video, because it's sort of like the outro video to the series, but, man, it just feels like Suicune, for whatever reason, really does not want to be caught. Oh, come on, it used Gust that time. Can it get paralysis from using Gust? If it just had one physical move, I would feel a lot better. Like a tackle or a takedown or something like that. Because, like, yeah, would it kill Zapperman? Probably. It would kill Zapperman pretty quickly. But it ups the percentage chance of it getting paralysis if it's doing a physical move to me. Because it's coming into contact with my Pokemon who's an electric type. So, like, it could happen. And when we get in those situations, I feel a lot better because I feel like I've done everything I could do. Whereas in this case, like, I already went and got rid of Thunder Wave quite a few episodes ago. So it just sort of stinks that, you know, we're coming into this and trying to catch this Pokemon, but there's really not a whole lot we can do to really improve our odds. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as we attempt to catch this heroic beast, like I did say there, I did finish this Let's Play. I believe at the end of the day there is 39 episodes in this Let's Play. So like I said, it's going to be shorter than our Kingdom Hearts 2 Let's Play. I was expecting that. Now, it could be longer if I went and did all the post-game stuff. If you guys are interested in the post-game stuff, drop that in the comments down below. I may consider doing some of it, but I know, like, even, like, the battle with Red, it's like I'm nowhere near close to that towards the end of the game. So why would I even go attempt it? It's just, you guys are just going to watch me lose on camera is all that's going to happen, I guess. And then, all the other legendaries are, I don't know, they're just legendaries we've seen before. I really wanted to focus on Gen 2 stuff. So, that's how we end the series, if that's any indicator to those that have played this generation as to, you know, where we're eventually going to wind up. If that's any sort of spoiler, I apologize, but to me, that makes the most sense. You know, our whole team was based on only Gen 2 Pokemon. Let's keep everything Gen 2. Let's keep it the classic way it was supposed to be. I understand there's so much more you can go out and do, but for me, a Pokemon game is... This Pokemon game in particular is like an exception to the rule, because most of the time I would say as soon as the Elite Four is done, in my mind, the game is done. Like, your final mission is to go and catch the legendary Pokemon, and that's it. But this game has the special exception of having like this whole post-game section that we're doing now, that even that is like a step above and beyond as to what we would normally do in a Let's Play. So I think with how far we've gotten, and by beating every trainer and catching a good chunk of the legendary Pokemons available, and all but one of the exclusive ones in Gen 2, I believe, I think we should be in good shape. But here we go. I'm going to pull out Shadow here. So I'm going to do this anytime we go after a legendary Pokemon. Right now it's protecting itself. But with Shadow, the key here is we could always use Flash, which will lower the accuracy of the other Pokemon, which is a really good tactic when a Pokemon can still use moves and attack you and do damage. Because then not only, like, if we got the paralysis there, which would have been like the trifecta, we get paralysis, and then on top of that, we lowered the accuracy of all the moves that it can use, and then we could just aimlessly throw Ultra Balls at the legendary Pokemon. Like, it's a great tactic to use here. But I don't think we're going to have to do it a whole much longer. I actually do think we are relatively close here to catching Suicune. I think the odds are going to turn into our favor here in a hot minute, and at least I hope so. Let's see. Let's throw an Ultra Ball at this bad boy. But if I recall, like, shortly after we put Shadow in there, we get good news. Maybe not. Maybe I was just thinking that. I don't know. But it does seem like we've thrown plenty of Ultra Balls here. There we go! Suicune is caught. So another legendary Pokemon registered here. Like I said before, we caught Raikou with the Master Ball. And we caught, not Entei, but the other one. Oh, this is the other one. What the fuck am I talking about? So we have 2 out of 3 of the legendary dogs. We have Suicune and Raikou. And then, we ran into Entei. Unfortunately, it was not when I was recording, but I didn't click the goddamn button to finish the recording. But, yeah. That's 2 legendaries and Lugia, which makes our third, but Lugia is obviously the box art. So for this Pokemon here, Snorlax is sleeping, we actually need to take the radio and set it up here in this section. And just drag it on up, and we get the Pokeflute. So they have a dedicated radio for sleeping Pokemon. And we can play that for Snorlax and wake him up and hopefully catch ourselves a Snorlax too. What level is Snorlax? This will actually be interesting. Is that level 60? Level 50. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a pretty impressive level for a normal type Pokemon in this generation. It would be excellent to have. It is only a Generation 1 Pokemon. So unfortunately we cannot add it to our team, but I do want to catch Snorlax, just because Snorlax is always fun to catch. Now, I am hoping with the amount of interactions it has with Zapperman that we can cause paralysis at some point here. It looks like Snorlax has leftovers, which means it's always going to restore a little bit of HP after every single turn, which is kind of annoying if you're trying to catch it because you get it down to the red, you take all your time to do the due diligence, and then it just heals right back up, and it's like nothing happened. And Rollout there does continuous damage, so the more times it's used, the more amount of damage we can expect to take here. So not a fun move to work against. Right here, if I could catch Snorlax right now, I think if I had the paralysis, shit I do. I was gonna say, I think that would be the ultimate layout, because that's about as low as HP is gonna get. And we have the Ultra Balls. We stocked up for catching Suicune. So I'm hoping this doesn't take much. It pops right back out. Thanks, Snorlax. Now, I don't believe this is going to be as loud as car. Wouldn't be an average Joe video without it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think this is going to take as long as Suicune took, just because Snorlax isn't a legendary Pokemon. It's just a normal type Pokemon that is a little bit rarer to catch than the other ones. I think in Generation 1, there's 2 of them floating around. In Generation 2, there's 1 of them, just this guy, but he's not that difficult to catch. And now that we knocked him out of his rollout, he's not going to be a hassle. I'm going to go with Cut. I just want to see what sort of damage this does. You know, just so I know, like, is it in the range that we could catch it? I think if it's still in red or at, like, even a light yellow here, I'm going to go for it. Yeah, let's see if we could get it, because it's got the paralysis, too, added there, which should be a big deal once it's low in health. That's why it would have been nice to get it on Suicune, because it probably would have taken half the time. And there you go, Snorlax is caught. So not that long at all. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just that extra status effect, along with the low health, and you got him. But now with those 2 out of the way, we can go over here to Pewter City. We have to go through Diglett's Cave to get here, which changed a little bit. I'm kind of shocked I didn't leave some of that in, but it just, there's some overpasses and things like that, and eventually we'll be able to scale walls in this game, but that's all post-game. But regardless, we're going to enter here. Obviously, as always, I think up until the final gym, I'm going to battle all the trainers with inside the gym, and then I think the final gym, I'm just going to try and steamroll right to the last trainer. But I really do... Gator should get some good EXP here. But I do know from past gameplays that Brock is going to have some Pokemon that we are for sure going to need VW Bug to help with. Like, big time. But I am defeating a level 50 Rhydon right here, which was sort of like my initial test. So, like, I'm level 49 now, but I feel a lot more confident. Especially, we have really, like, 3 rounds of attack, right? We have Gator, we have VW Bug, and we have Zillakilla as a worst-case scenario to throw in there to just throw Earthquake around a bunch of times. So, I'm feeling pretty confident with this battle. I mean, if I could storm through Golem, too, because Golem is a little bit... He's a defensive type Pokemon, right? Rock. And then has the strong defenses. If we could get through Golem in a one-hit here, I'm going to feel pretty good. And that's exactly what we do. So I'm feeling pretty confident against Brock. I really don't think he's going to present any problems. I'd be really, really shocked if he does. I mean, I'm just going to walk right up to him. We don't even need to heal. We didn't take any damage on those 2 last fights. I am not foreseeing any difficulties here. You know, maybe we have to switch out and give a revive to somebody in a hyper potion throughout the battle, but that would be the absolute most. So Graveler level 51. I would expect this to be a one-hit here. The worst thing Graveler can do to us is an explosion or a self-destruct. That would suck. But I think as long as we get the one hit, I'm going to be pretty comfortable here. And we get it. Perfect. Kabutops. This is where we want to switch, and we want to switch into VW Bug. Because Kabutops, I forget. I'll know when I see him, but I think these guys have, like, water typing to them. So our water type isn't going to be very effective, but the fighting type over the rock type is still going to be extremely effective. Now, it's going to take a little bit more. Yeah, I would expect a 2-hit out of each of these. Rock Slide's probably going to do a good chunk of damage, but hopefully it's not too much. Okay, it's a lot, but it was a critical hit. He's going to heal up. I kind of saw that coming. That's fine. We're going to use another Karate Chop. Or Brick Break, whatever we're using here. That should bring him right back down to the red. Now I say go for the Rock Smash. It's going to go with the Aqua Jet. That's probably going to kill me. I'm probably not going to get to attack. But VW Bug, you served a good purpose here. I really appreciate you, buddy. I would put in Shadow right now if I were myself. Oh, no, you know what? Tomahawk is a good thought. Because Tomahawk is going to outspeed. So whatever we do here is probably going to be enough to one-hit this Pokemon out of existence, which is what we really want. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Not an optimal strategy, but it works. Omnistar is coming out, and I think for Omnistar, it might actually be worth it to switch into Zapperman. I'm not sure how effective Zapperman's going to be against the... Because it's water rock type, right? So I would think that electric typing isn't going to be all that effective, but I could be wrong. He just withdrew it. So I'm guessing the answer is yes, it's going to be very effective. And here I'm going to do the same thing. You know what? I'm going to switch into Gator. I'm going to play that game. If Brock is able to play that game, I should be able to play that game. But with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the end of the episode with only 2 minutes left. So I want to do my traditional outro. If you like this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is greatly motivational for myself, costs you nothing, and continues to motivate me to make videos just like this now and in the near future. So yeah, if you've liked this video or any of the content I put out there, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I always get back to all the comments and always respond to everybody, and I try to give out those subscriptions when I can. I do give them out to only videos that I, watch and enjoy, but that's just sort of my critique, and if you guys feel the same way, hey, I completely understand. But we are playing this game until we finish it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so Pokemon Soul Silver on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and like I said, I believe it's going to wrap up here right around episode number 39. And then we will be moving into Luigi's Mansion 3. And then, of course, on Mondays and Wednesdays right now, we are playing Halo Combat Evolved. And we will be playing that up until we finish over there. There's 10 episodes in that series. I'm not quite sure which episode we're at right now. Maybe like 7 or 8. But I do know that'll be finishing up next week as well. And then we'll be moving into Super Mario Land for a short time period. That was an old GBA Mario game that you could whip out in like 4 or 5 hours. So we'll be doing that as a filler, really, I guess, until we have time and I get my delivery of Super Mario Wonder when that gets delivered. And I have my delivery set up that it'll come out here right on the date that it comes out, so I'm super excited to get some recordings of that done and get to play through that series with you. That should be a really fun time. Here we can see Zapperman actually did do super effective damage to Omnistar, which I was not expecting, so that is great, and that will wrap up the episode. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have had a snazzy week so far and continue to have a snazzy week moving forward, and we will see you all here on Thursday for the continuation of this series, in which we will be taking down 2 more gyms, I believe. At least 1 more gym. No, 2 more gyms, that's right. And then if you like Halo, we'll see you tomorrow. So you can check out the next Halo game video that's coming out as well. Until next time, everybody, take it easy.